Sky Squad, we are back in the building for yet another video. And we got to talk about last night's episode of Love and Marriage DC. We're talking season 2, episode 7. And let's just dive right in, shall we? I am going to give this episode on a scale of 1 to 10. It feels like an 8.5, maybe an 8.5. I mean, I was entertained during this episode, but I needed some buildup to the whole incident with Jamie at the end. It seemed like I had to actually ask myself, is he joking as he was talking to Orena, or is he serious? And I don't know. It just because it came out of nowhere. What I needed to see was because Ashley will ask him later or mention something about him drinking. I need to see him getting sauced up or something. I do. I need to see him getting liquored down. I need to see him running back and forth to the bar because it's one thing to tell us that he has been drinking. It's another thing to show us he has been drinking. Does that make sense? Because otherwise, it just felt like he just plopped down out of nowhere and was like, come on, girl, let's work on these TikToks, you know? And so that's why I was like, wait a minute, what happened? What happened here? So I don't know. It just kind of felt like a fast edit through all of that. And it felt like a lot was going on in this episode. Like a lot was squeezed into this one episode. And so the continuity was just a little bit off for me. So that's why I can't give it like a little bit higher than that because I felt like I needed some more. It could have been paced a little slower for me. But that's just how I feel. There were elements that I really did enjoy and they involve joy. So let's get into that. We start off back at the say that ish. And and don't forget to let me know your ratings down in the chatterization down below. Now, we're back to the say that ish event that Ashley is throwing, the ponderosa that she's throwing, aka well, a la Jackie Christie, where everybody can get together and talk about how they feel. It's basically for the ladies. And we start off with Orena questioning why Winter is there. And especially if nobody is getting along with her. So Ashley says, well, she's trying to get everybody to a cordial place. And if Sherrell is going to continue to bring her around, then Ashley just wants to be in a good space with Winter. This is another reason why I say that Sherrell should have been made a main cast member, because if she's going to be that pivotal to this group, it only makes sense that she is a main cast member. I mean, in my opinion, that's just me though. So Sherrell is like, well, she's cool with Winter, but Ashley doesn't want Sherrell and Winter's friendship to be based on hating Ashley, which I don't get, because if you know that if you know that Sherrell doesn't hate you, why would their friendship be based on that? And ultimately, it just doesn't make any sense. For me, I would have preferred if she said, listen, I just don't trust her. And if you want to be friends with her, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have this ponderosa, get out all of our distrust on the table, and figure out how we're going to move forward. But I didn't get the if your friendship is based on hating Ashley, because if you feel like Sherrell is your friend, why would she be hating on you? And then also, too, just knowing Sherrell personally, it's like, that don't even really seem like her type of personality. So I didn't really understand that. But that's just me. Anyway, Orena says that it doesn't look right for Sherrell to be friends with Ashley, but getting so close to Winter. Uh, mm, I guess the thing with this whole situation is for Orena and Ashley, they still feel some type of way about things that happened last year. But they're also seeming to expect for Sherrell, who is new to this crew, to have those same feelings because of what they experience. But she's telling them, I'm basing my experience on what is going on in the present, and you guys are basing your experiences based on your previous experience with her, which is also valid. Okay. So I mean, I'm not invalidating their feelings, but I'm just simply saying, like, you can't expect everybody to have the same feelings that you have because of your experiences. You know what I'm saying? Because you can meet one person and your energy could be totally different with them, and you can meet, and that same person can meet somebody else, and that energy could totally change, right? So now Joy comes around the mulberry bush and is trying to, I don't know if she's trying to facilitate a smoothing out with Sherrell or what. Um, but she does say that any issues that Sherrell should have been with her. I do agree with that because Joy is the one who said those things. Sherrell was upset at Erana, but Erana just was basically conveying the message. So, but it is like I always, like people always say, the messenger is always the person that gets shot. It really don't. That's and which is always odd to me because it's like the messenger's getting shot, but they're not even the person that said what was happening. But they usually that is always the case. The messenger always seems to get shot. So sometimes you just got to keep your mouth closed. So anyway, um, Sherrell feels like Arena was being messy, bringing up what Joy said. I don't really feel that way. I felt like Arena was saying it because she was like, "There's a problem here, and y'all need to. If the two of y'all can get together, y'all can resolve this problem." I mean, it could have been seen as messy because she didn't really have to say nothing, but in the interest of moving things forward with them, I feel like she put the cards on the table. All right. But Sherelle calls Arena Nana, for like somebody's Miss Bonita. Okay, Bonita betrayal, you know what I'm saying, who be sitting on her doorstep and in the windowsill watching everything that go down in the neighborhood and spreading all the gossip, but saying you ain't heard that from me. Okay. If you don't know who Bonita Betrayal is, what are you even doing here? Okay. Um that is an In Living Color reference. Okay. So if you don't know it, go look up Miss Bonita Betrayal. Some kind of way, Sherelle and Joy seem like they own a good foot, which boggles my mind because the issues have not been resolved. And it sounds like Ashley just wants to move forward, as does Winter. Winter wants to invite them to her romancipation event, but based on the eyes rolling around the table, I don't necessarily know if that invite was welcome. But she does give them invites in boxes and stuff like that, and they take them. And Ashley asks if she's going to be performing her song Gutter Barbies that was produced by Sherelle's husband, Black. And so Winter then takes the time to clarify, well, Gutter Barbies is a good thing. And so she says, you want to hear it? Here it go. So it's really about wanting to be a Gutter Barbie, maybe for the weekend or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you want to drop down and get your eagle on, or you know, run around in your apple bottom jeans and boots with the fur, but I don't know. So, there's some high fiving going on and the scene ends. Clifton and Joy meet up with Carmen. Now, I actually enjoyed this scene. So, Carmen is also from Ready to Love. So, we learn that Carmen, because I did not watch this season, was Clifton's number two, but is also now Clifton's business partner. And I did recall seeing them post about launching something, or maybe it was already launched, but having a showing at DC Fashion Week. So they are in business together. But now they are good friends. And Joy is okay with it. So Clifton is having some back issues and he's going to have surgery. But Carmen wants to know what's going on with the new crew. So Joy says, she likes Serena and she tells them about the group event. And she says they're all fun, but She feels like Ashley's BFF Alicia is a bit messy, but if she's hanging out with Ashley, she's got to be a little messy. So Carmen is like, "So you feel like Ashley's messy?" And Carmen does a very good job of getting the soundbite out of Joy. "Oh, you feel like Ashley's messy." Okay, yes, Carmen, you know what to do in the scene. All right. So Joy feels like Alicia is Ashley's sidekick, and she really only trusts Erana. That is the way that Alicia has been positioned on this show as, I mean, Ashley's BFF. I mean, they kind of position her as like the secondary character to Ashley, which makes sense because Ashley is the cast member. But I think what they're trying to do is at least several other members of the cast are looking at Alicia as Ashley's backup. And so Carmen says, "Well, who do you think is trying to be the head, be in charge of the girls? You know, let Carmen is getting down to the meat and potatoes of the thing." Carmen would also make for a fabulous addition to this show in the sense that you now have these players on the chessboard who understand how to maneuver the chess pieces, but in a very casual way, as this scene played out very casually. That's why I enjoyed it, because she was really able to get true feelings out of Joy. And Joy presents to me a classic reality TV persona. And that persona is someone who is not necessarily confrontational, but has a lot of opinions, which is great, that are usually expressed in confessionals, but not necessarily in the moment. That is not always a bad thing because it creates conflict, as you have already seen. So it's natural conflict that it creates because not everybody says exactly what's on their mind all the time. You have to have characters that do, and then you have to have characters that just naturally don't, because it does create natural conflict, which is what I like on a reality TV show. Okay. Nothing is really that deep in this situation. It's not heavy. It feels, again, like old school reality TV to me, and I like it. So anyway, and listen, I dissect these things. It is with great joy and pleasure that I do this. Um these are the moments in reality TV that excite me because it really gives me an opportunity to really dive into the mechanics of how these things work and personalities. I love personality conflict and see how it develops and evolves and hopefully resolved. So anyway, after Carmen asks who she thinks is trying to be the head be in charge, Joy rolls her eyes and says, "Well, the first letter of the name starts with the first letter of the alphabet, indicating A." Okay, she might as well have said double A because Clifton says there are two of those. Well, Joy says not the sidekick, aka not Alicia. So Carmen suggests maybe that Ashley's trying to keep them all in check. And Joy says, "Well, she might be the head chick over there, okay? But she ain't running nothing over here, okay? She not running nothing over here. She might be running it over there, but not over here, all right?" So then apparently, um, there was a dinner, all right? There was a group dinner wherein Alicia was going in on Sherrell's wig while Sherrell wasn't there. Now, mind you, Ashley and Sherrell are supposed to be good friends. So Joy is asking, "Why are y'all sitting here laughing about Sherrell's wig?" Let me pull it up for you. Sherrell's wig, when y'all was just kikiing in her face. So it makes Joy wonder, like, are y'all fake and phony? Because that seems fake and phony. And she says it. I mean, y'all kind of, she said it in the moment, but we didn't see that moment happen. I needed to see that flashback, Carlos and Kingdom Rain and Give us that flashback in the next episode or something like that. You know what I'm saying? About them making fun of her hair. All right. As you guys can see, Sherrell likes a variety of hairstyles of all sorts. So she told them in the moment that they could come across as fake and phony. But it also has to make her wonder, are they talking about me too? I tell y'all this all the time. Now this is just in general, I don't know if they was talking about her or not, but what I'm saying is, if you find that you are in a situation where you see, and we talk about this with Potomac, and I want you to listen to what I am telling you today. If somebody can laugh and snickerdoodle about somebody else that's in your friend group, okay, and then kiki in their facial, they can also laugh and snickerdoodle about you. What makes you think you exempt? You should not feel exempt because you are not. That's just a life lesson. You know, again, on this channel, sometimes you're gonna get a little tea, little information, a little edutainment. You know what I'm saying? Education and entertainment combined. Now, honestly, you know, Carmen just lets her know, listen, girl, you need to just sit back and watch people. That is definitely some sage advice when entering a new situation with people that you don't quite know. And so Joy's like, I just want to be with my man. All right. And so Carmen says, well, maybe you could borrow Sherrell's wig. Okay. And Clifton can put it on and he can be Burrell. All right. Burrell. Maybe it should have been Chlorel for Clifton. You know. Anyway, it's a family meeting down at the Silver's house with the management and staff and crew and the kids. And Ashley and Quick need for these kids to sign these contracts, not friendship contracts, but these are the contracts for your chores. Okay. And really, Quick wants his son Antonio to be able to get up for school on time at 14. I didn't talk to y'all about this before. For me, I had to get up on my own, get myself ready for school at 14, and be out the door and catch my bus. It was a non-starter in my house. I would wager that it's a non-starter in a lot of people's house. However, everybody's different, you know? And I do think that Ashley wants to feel a level of connection with her kids that maybe she also did not feel for herself. And so maybe it doesn't bring her, maybe it brings her a little bit of joy to actually still be able to do that. Because ultimately, at a certain point, he's going to be out of the house, you know? I always hear parents talk about how those teenage years can go by fast, can be painful, but they go by fast. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that one. All right, Erana is preparing for her wig launch. She gets Joy and Ashley together. She don't understand why Sherrell is hanging out with Winter and why Ashley is allowing it. And I'm like, girl, you cannot. I mean, you can't police who people hang out with. I mean, people adults. Joy arrives. You know, Ashley's wig looks actually really, really good on her. It's a blonde. It's kind of like a honey blonde wig, maybe. I don't know. But I was like, oh, Ashley, this is your look. This is a look for you right here. Yes. For the reunion, yes. Don that wig from the collection. That's the one. But anyway, they asked Joy if she's coming to the romancipation of that Winter is having. Joy is like, no, ma'am, I'm not going. No. Okay. It's a hard pass for me. They get into Sherrell, and Ashley wants Erana to stay out of the people business. And Arena's like, I'm going to stand beside my friends. But she's not so sure about inviting Sherrell to her wig launch. Spoiler alert, she is going to invite her to the wig launch. Jamie and Quick get together with their boys and they visit Southeast DC. This is a great moment. We do get to find out that Lil Jamie, since therapy, has been doing a lot better, has a new job. He is working with troubled kids. He's helping to start coat drives. It's been really impactful for him. I love this scene because, yet again, we're seeing Black men and their sons, which is something we do not see a lot of on reality television. And I know that for some people, reality TV is supposed to be all entertainment, but isn't it nice when we can see these types of moments happen? The men, now the women are bringing the drama, but the men are also bringing drama in a different way. But in it's real life drama. It's real substance, okay? That we do not get to see, and it is such a delight every time. I almost I almost had tears yesterday watching this scene because the realization of how important this is, especially for somebody like me as a Black man, to be able to see these relationships play out on the screen with Black men who are passionate about their sons and where they want to see their sons, so much so that they are filming scenes. The network leaves those scenes in, okay? And we get to see real progress and real conversations and real raw talk. This to me is what makes this show so great. So great. So great. Such a good I mean, wow. Okay? If you don't watch this show for anything else, watch for these moments. And we've gotten plenty of them throughout these past 7 episodes. It ain't been just a quick hitter. It has been a through line throughout just about every episode. We have talked about subjects, hard subjects, like in people wanting to end their lives. We talked about therapy. We've seen therapy. We've seen Ashley confronting her mother about their past. We've seen Jamie and Lil Jamie go at it. We've seen so much. Like, it's just been real life, and I am enjoying it. Okay. All right. So it's the day of the wig launch, and nothing's going right. And a model has canceled. Joy and Clifton are sick. And Erana has to call Ashley, girl, can you walk the runway and get here by 4:30? But she already know Ashley gonna be late because apparently Ashley has a problem being late. This is where the pacing, it just falls apart for me. All right. Just being honest. Because we see Winter and Sherrell. Now, I know, again, I do know all these things could have happened on the same day because I understand the filming process. And I know for a fact that people film scenes on the same day. Okay. You can go from one scene to the next and do a confessional too. I know that happens. However, it just felt odd to me because I'm looking at Sherrell with this wig on from the other event, and then I see her with a totally different look, and I know a woman can snatch off a wig and throw on another, but it just felt like Arana's wig launch. The same day you got the podcast for Friends Who Smash with Sherrell and Black and Winter and Yusha. I think that's his name. And then you got the wig launch. And so it seemed like the wig launch preparation happened, and then the podcast was maybe simultaneously happened, and then miraculously she was able to get it from one side of town to the next in a different wig. I was just like, now wait a minute, now I got whiplash. Now again, it could have happened at the same day, and I could just be the one who is looking at this with an overly critical eye. But I just felt like, oh wait, okay, fine. So anyway, Winter joins Sherrell and Black for an episode of the Friends Who Smash podcast. That is Black and Sherrell's podcast. And they also have surprised Winter by inviting Yusha Assad, who is a man who has been divorced and has a kid as well. And so the topic is dating after divorce. And Winter and Yusha seem to be hitting it off, and Sherrell and Black seem to be facilitating that. Okay, 100%. I am actually here for it. I feel like they seem like they have a good dynamic, and we'll just see where things go. Back at Arenas, Ashley is running late. Joy, again, is not coming. All right. Joy be missing a lot of events. But if she was sick, nowadays you can't be around people. And you definitely can't film, depending on what you got. I ain't saying she had that. I don't know. But what I'm saying is you just take extra precautions when people are sick these days, especially when filming. So Sherrell was invited, we find out, but she's ready for war if need be. It's time for the models to hit the runway, and they get to sashaying down and through, and we see bobs and bangs and bundles. Bobs, bangs, and bundles. Bobs, bangs, and bundles. Bobs, bangs, and bundles. All right, pumping it down the runway. The wigs look great, and it's a great show. Afterwards, all the girls get together. It's what? Ashley, Alicia, Sherrell, and Erana. Okay. And Erana wants to have a ponderosa about herself with Sherrell without Ashley and Alicia, which I think is probably for the best because it allows the two of them to just talk. So Erana says she did not intend for the shady comment to come out the way that it did when she said it. And again, this is what I like about this show. It's problems over miscommunication and people miscommunicating things. And so, they seem like they're able to move forward and they're going to try their hardest to not have, screaming matches every time they see each other. So they head back outside and chat with the group, and the guys join in. And this is where Jamie is just plopped into the scene and is like, listen, girl, you've been doing these bundles, bangs, and bobs, and I need you to get back and head to stage left to get back home so we can film this content. And I need 2 hours of your day, every day, all day, okay? And we're gonna film these TikToks. You're gonna operate the camera. I'm gonna operate the camera, and you're gonna get to work. Okay, now get to stepping. And so I think there's a cup in his hand, a red solo cup, a la Ken Zodiac, but I can't remember. And maybe this was supposed to be our indication that he had one too many, or just enough. So, the ladies are offended, and especially Ashley. She's like, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you talking to Erana like that. I don't know why you talking to her like this. Again, I thought to myself, is he serious or is he joking? What's happening in this scene? What am I supposed to feel? I could not really get a good gauge on what I was like, is this real? Is this really happening right now? Like, how did this escalate so quickly? Somebody tell me. Somebody did he show me at the bar with Jamie taking shot after shot after shot after shot after shot? Because then I'm informed that, oh, Jamie has walked over and he is crunk. Okay. And now I know why. Because otherwise, I don't know why. I'm left for Ashley to maybe perhaps say he might have had some drinks, but I need to be shown. Okay. And so somehow Jamie has turned into James Brown and the scene ends. Clunk. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Another good episode. Just a couple of criticisms that I feel like I had based on my own critical eye, perhaps sometimes overly critical. But, I am somebody who also wants the show to be as good as it can be because I really, truly, honestly believe in this show. Not just because I know the people, but also because I feel like I want to support these Black shows. Also because I feel like they're doing such an amazing job of highlighting real issues that need to be discussed, particularly within the Black community, that we are not getting anyplace else. All right. So with that being said, I will catch you all in the next video.